African spiritual significance of superstitions and their meanings. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sephora Moses and I welcome you to Ink and Tales. Today we are exploring beliefs and superstitions within African cultures. Africans were into African traditional religion, which had their attendant beliefs before the advent of Christianity, which many of them adopted, but some of them still held on to the worship of their gods and the traditions of old, which have found their way into the everyday life of the people. One thing about these superstitious beliefs is that these beliefs vary from locality to locality in Africa. As with most tribes in Africa, many superstitions has their origins with other people and tribes. Since the African world is a spiritual world, it was believed that the spirits or bad people with ill motives will come around and use those to bewitch the individual. Superstition spreads from one group to another, and even today. Here are a few common superstitions in Africa you should know. 1. Witchcraft. In ancient times, around the 15th century, witchcraft was invented and later on arose in Africa. The people who participated in witchcraft often were women and occasionally children. It was believed that witches would hide in the evil forest to devise ways to torture people and cast spells within villages. According to historical belief, witches also had the ability to convert themselves into creatures. If natural disasters occurred, like drought, earthquakes, and flooding occurred, the people responsible were then witches. As a result, people started hunting down witches and eventually put the witches to extinction. 2. Mirror. Breaking a mirror. The glass mirror was first invented by the Romans, along with Greek, Chinese, African, and Indian cultures. They believed that a mirror had the power to take away parts of a person's soul. As instead of looking at your reflection, they believed they were looking at their soul through the mirror. Therefore, if the image in the mirror became distorted, their soul would reap the effects. Things got extremely worse for your soul if the mirror broke. It was believed that if the mirror cracked or broke, that the soul would be trapped inside forever. The person's soul would become trapped in the world that the mirror represented. Reversing bad luck caused by a broken mirror. If you do not want your soul trapped in the darkness forever, there are rituals out there to do just that according to superstitions. As the fragments of a broken mirror still actually reflect a person and their corrupted soul, you could grind all the pieces into dust. No reflection, no problem. Another option is to bury all the fragments under a tree at full moon. This is said to release your soul. Alternatively, you could wash away the bad luck by putting the broken mirror into a southward flowing stream. 3. Mirror showing to a child. If you're in touch with your African roots, you probably know you shouldn't show a child a mirror. According to the myth, The child might remember their past lives, or their souls might get trapped. None of these can be explained rationally. Elderly people probably coined this explanation to deter anyone from breaking this tradition. 4. Sweeping your house at night. Do not sweep your house at night, says the famous superstition, or you will lose your wealth. In other words, sweeping at night is symbolic of sweeping out your wealth. 5. Eating with your left hand. Don't eat with your left hand. Eating was taken as a respectful thing to do, and using one's left hand was a sign of disrespect and being unthankful. 6. Don't eat vulture meat. Vultures are often regarded as scavengers of death. They are cleaner birds that feast on the dead and all things filthy. It is for this reason that people all over the world avoid vultures. They do not domesticate vultures and they do not eat them. Also, in African traditional religion, vultures are regarded as the scavengers of death. When you see a vulture perching on your roof, you are advised to throw stone at it. Keep throwing stones until it flies away. 7. Don't disclose your pregnancy until after the second trimester. As pregnancy superstitions go, this is the most common one. African women are generally encouraged to be secretive about their pregnancies. According to the myth, the spirits can hear and jinx the pregnancy. 8. Witches and G's. The people of Western Kenya believe that the G's are gifted with a sixth sense, especially in the area of detecting witches. Therefore, most families in this village have G's in their compounds, which alerts them of the presence of witches when they come around their vicinity, so as to take necessary and adequate precautionary measures. Locals believe the resident G's only quack at witches. As a result, they are only the security required at the compound. And every time the G's quack, people are quite sure that there are some witches about and around. 9. An itching right palm. An itching palm is a sign of good luck. The belief is that you should expect some unexpected money to fall in your lap as soon as the palm of your hand inches. Also, in Kenya, it is believed that when the right palm of a person itches, that person is in for an inflow of cash anytime soon. So they don't dare to scratch the itching palm. They rather scratch the left palm because they believe that scratching the itching palm amounts to scratching away the money about to be received. According to their belief, money finds its way into their hands one way or another. Many other Africans also share this belief. 10. Sneezing. This means someone is calling your name somewhere. 11. Sighting an owl. In Kenya, it is believed that when one comes across an owl, it means that something terrible is about to happen to that person or a loved one of that person. The tradition recommends that you are expected to react immediately by either shooing it off or throwing salt into the fire to avert the impending terrible occurrence. 12. Superstitions on the sex of a child. I guess you didn't know that our forefathers could determine the sex of an unborn child without going to a lab or doing all the scans and x-rays we do today. If the pregnant lady's hair is shiny, bouncing, and her skin is glowing, the gods had decreed a girl. On the other hand, if the woman develops a rough face, a bigger nose, and become darker in complexion, she had better start searching for male baby names. 13. Gods are witches in disguise. For many people in Nigeria, gods are the embodiment of witches and other evil entities. They believe that witches either turn into gods or possess these animals in order to spy on people. 14. Bad luck awaits when you hit your left foot on a stone or object. It is said that hitting one's left foot while walking is a sign of trouble. Most people usually turn around and head back home. 15. Safety pins protect babies from being possessed. It is said that wearing a safety pin under your clothes would hurt anything that tries to possess an unborn baby. 16. Letting anyone get in between you and someone else is bad. It is considered bad luck when someone tries to walk between you and the person you are walking with. 17. Hitting a man with a broom will render him impotent. 18. Whistling at night invites snakes, evil spirits, and ghosts. 19. If you put your eyelashes in your parents' shoes, they will forget the offense you have committed. 20. Don't drink the water in a coconut, else you become stupid. 21. When the sun is shining amidst a heavy rain, it is believed a lioness is giving birth. 22. If you lose your tooth, throw it on the rooftop. The lizard will pick it and give you a new tooth. 23. Placing your leg on the wall while sleeping is believed one is in a witchcraft meeting. 24. If someone crosses over your legs while pregnant, the unborn child will look like that person. 25. If you spit on the floor and someone steps on it, the person develops throat ache. 26. You don't use broom to beat a young boy. It means he's not going to be endured. 27. Opening an umbrella inside brings bad luck. 28. Tossing spilled salt over your shoulder brings good luck. 29. Superstitions around twins. Twins hold a special significance in many Nigerian cultures, and there are various superstitions surrounding them. For example, it is believed that twins possess special powers and should be treated with respect. 30. If a pregnant woman goes out after 6 p.m., the evil eye will harm the baby in the womb. 31. Walking through cobwebs accidentally is seen as an evil attack on the spirit. 32. Inching feet means you will be traveling soon. 33. Most outlandish ones from Ghana. If you sell your soul to the juju man for money, he will come to collect sooner rather than later, and you will turn into a goat. 34. Nails should not be clipped at night, as they are pieces of your body and can be taken by the spirits to perform evil arts against you. 35. A man will become stupid if he washes a woman's underwear. 36. Dwarfs. Dwarfs with feet pointing backwards live in the forest and will kidnap you if you go deep in the night. You will only be returned home after several months. 37. Don't call someone's name at night. Also, don't stand at crossroad in the night. It's believed to be the meeting point of evil. 38. Unmarried gentlemen don't sing while eating. Otherwise, one will marry a glutton, most greedy wife, or you will be married far from your tribe. In Uganda, stepping on an egg after suffering from an illness or ugly experience totally cleanses the person and exempts the person from any reoccurrence. For instance, when a person is discharged from the hospital after surviving an illness, the person is expected to step on an egg in front of his or her house before stepping into the house to purify and exempt the person from reoccurrence. Even prisoners perform this rite to exempt themselves from being arrested again in life, or at least for the same crime for which the ritual was performed. 40. Eating twin bananas. Another superstitious belief in Uganda says that eating twin bananas attract twin babies to a woman, and when the babies are eventually born, they are fortified against human destruction, and all the parents need to do is to provide them with good and adequate care, otherwise they will come under a curse or bad luck. So when next you come across twin bananas, stay clear if you are not ready to make twin babies, and also stay clear if you are not keen on giving good parenting to the twin babies, else you attract a curse of bad luck which could be very frustrating. 41. Eating in a dark room. Stay in Uganda. It is believed that eating in the dark is an open invitation of demons to the table which they honor, resulting in the indigestion of poisonous substances, attraction of bad luck, or misfortune. It is often recommended that nobody should eat in the dark, and if by chance the light strips off while one is eating, he or she should stop immediately and resume when lights are restored. It is not advisable to eat or even drink water in the dark, not only because of traditional beliefs, but it is for our own good and safety, as it is wise to see what you are putting in your mouth. 42. Virgins and Fanta-flavored drinks. In Rwanda, virgins are not permitted to consume any other flavor except Fanta. because they are believed that Fanta is the most morally pure flavor and therefore should be the only flavor of the chaste. If an unmarried girl is caught drinking a different flavor apart from Fanta, it is assumed that she is no longer a virgin and comes under the unnecessary judgment of society. What are the benefits of superstitions in Africa? Do superstitions have any purpose? According to anthropologists, certain African superstitions are actually worth believing. In fact, these beliefs exist because they serve the following purposes. They encourage good behavior among members of society. They provide explanations for strange occurrences, a coping mechanism in the midst of disaster. Superstitions empower people to try to control their destinies or predict their futures. Final thought on African superstitions worth believing. Superstitions aren't simply a sign of ignorance or a lack of imagination. Sometimes they are backed by science. So before you shun that African superstition, look at it critically. Science has proven that it is worth believing. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.